want to talk about what to do with all of these wood rings. I use them in so many of my projects, and if you buy the bag of assorted sizes, and I know many of you have, and you're left with all these rings, I want to show you some, if not so far, all of the things I've made with them to inspire you to use them for other projects. So first is my flower granny square bag. And for this bag, all of my bags, I like to use hardware. And in this case, I did not use metal hardware, I used wood rings. So what I use them here for is they actually attach the straps to the bag, and that just gives an extra element of visual interest. I really like that addition. It makes bags seem a little more special, a little more important. So that's my first tip. I'll put up some pictures of some of my other bags in here in the slideshow, and most of these will be slideshow with me doing some voiceover, but I am going to pull some of my items out and Vanna White them for you. Another item are these ornaments, or as I've shown them, you'll see the images go by as a gift hopper. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for Christmas, although this looks kind of Christmassy. You can use different kind of beads. I used a winter theme here, but just the natural color, maybe in browns, is a really pretty boho kind of gift hopper. But for your Christmas tree, making several so that it fits in with your other colors is really fun. Now, how I use the wood ring for this, obviously, it's wrapped in the yarn, but it gives this extra visual detail that makes these so interesting to look at. And the little wood beads that I have, these are from the Dollar Tree. This set here, these were from Temu, and they kind of inspired the design. I loved the kind of blue variety, but if you don't want to shop there, you can go to any of the craft stores and find assorted winter bead sets and use them. Get creative, or just use the shades of brown. Dollar Tree has those if you're watching your budget. And these don't use a lot of yarn, so it can be a scrap buster or stash buster, however you want to look at it. All right, another item. This is a stash buster as well. I used the rings to give more of an elevated look for these iron pan handle covers, or whatever kind of pan you need to cover. I have a really long stainless steel handled large saute pan, and can I tell you, one year I went to reach for it. It was Christmas. I ruined my hand, and I'm the cook. If you don't know, I used to cook professionally. I was a private chef for the rich and famous. I love to cook, and I have all kind of great pans. I have large pans. Sometimes I would need those because people didn't have those in their home, so I had a few supplemental pans I would take with me. But this Christmas, I was home cooking for my own family, and the pan I was using, really large, 14-inch deep stainless steel pan, and the entire handle is metal. It's oven safe, and just because I don't use it much, I didn't think of it. I put it out of the oven. I was doing something. I go back to grab it, and my hand wrapped around that hot handle really tightly as if I were to lift it, and the burn I had, it was awful. Just awful. And of course it lasted a while. I had to wrap my wrist for several days in gauze to protect it. But something like this would have been a lifesaver, and it would have been customizable to fit the length of the handle. So it's not only iron skillets these are good for. If you have any of those stainless pans and like the quart pots for, you know, boiling and soups and all that, they often do not have covered handles. They're all steel, so that they are oven safe. Certainly there's a place for that, but when you take them out, slip these on so that your hands can be protected. So I've got the free pattern for this in the post that's linked below. If you ever make amigurumi, you can see here I used the wood rings as an eye accent. So I wrapped the smallest ring with yarn, then I did an accent color before securing them in with safety eyes. I did not write a pattern for this, but I think the cat is so adorable with the craggy hat for my Halloween decor. So for my book sleeve, this particular one I used the little crystal button, but for the first one I made, I used a wood ring wrapped in yarn, just like I did with the eye, as a button. Now to get the strap to secure under it, you only attach this part, the top, and then the strap can secure under it with your device or your book that goes inside. Now in that same thought, with the crochet wristlet, this needs hardware to secure what's inside. So I'm a big fan of using what I have on hand. I had these on hand, and this secures, you know, whatever in there, and then you wear it and go out. I love this. I use this all the time. But you can use a wood ring here to secure as your hardware, as I showed with my the granny square bag. I don't know that I would necessarily wrap it in yarn, because this is going to get a lot of wear and tear. When you're using it, the strap will move a little bit. That's just the nature of it when it's on your wrist, and that would probably cause it to fray. So just leave the wood raw the way it is, just like I've left the metal one here unworked. And these patterns will again be linked. This is not a free pattern, but it will be linked in the post that has all these patterns linked.